And that's how the theme song goes. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to C Plus. No. Welcome back to the Constitutionals. I'm your host, Chad White. This is a great way to start off 2018. That is the telltale sign. That's a great way. I'm not going to restart this entire thing. Welcome back to the Constitutionals podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. This is, if you didn't know, is the premiere podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. It's a website. Go there. Take care of the other plugs. If you can't already tell, a little bit out of my mind right now. It's New Year's Day. I'm still recovering from New Year's Eve night. Had a good time. That's neither here nor now. Neither here nor now. Oh boy, this is a struggling. Oh my god, I spent most of my day sleeping. I woke up and then what else? What did I do? I don't know what I did. I started watching Cheers again. Started watching old Cheers episodes. Like they're all old episodes. But I started watching Cheers. I continued watching Cheers because I'm still watching it. Anyway, then I watched Lucifer and then some other TV shows. But we're not talking about what I watched. We're talking about the things on the podcast. And there's a lot of things on the podcast going on this week. And so let's get right into it, as if we already haven't. I want to start with this TV show Easy. That's a Joe Swanberg series. It's on Netflix, and it's very good. It's a very good show. That's an anthology, comedy anthology that has that essentially stars, just random actors and people that are great, and it's very funny. It's very oddly very sexual, and there are some things like in the second season, there are some things that I've never seen on television before, and that I don't think I've ever seen, even on HBO, even on Cinemax. Even on you'd have to go to the internet to find stuff like this, and yet it's on a Netflix show. So anyway, Joe Swanberg, if you didn't know, he's an independent filmmaker. He's done a lot of movies that you have never seen and that you probably never will see, and I'm gonna be completely honest, but it's he's really good at what he does. He's done the movie Win It All. I think I've spoken about that with Jake Johnson, playing a gambler who is trying to get some money and stuff like that. And Keegan-Michael Key's in that movie, and so is Jolo Trulio, who's also in one episode of Easy, and he's also done the movie Digging for Fire, which is also really great with Jake Johnson. Happy Christmas, which I did not get a chance to see. Drinking Buddies, but that's got Anna Kendrick. I think Anna Kendrick's also in Drinking Buddies as well. Let me double check this, and I am right. She is in that movie. Olivia Wilde too. Jake Johnson and Ron Livingston. And let's see, he did a segment on VHS. I did not know that. I like VHS. It's a very good horror movie. Anyway, Joe Swanberg is a very, very good person, and he's very funny. And he wrote and directs every episode of this Easy show. And a lot of it is dealing with sexual stuff, I don't know if he's having a good life at home, but. So here are some of the people that are in. So Easy is an anthology series that follows single people in Chicago or married people in Chicago. And they're all just experiencing things. Like there's one episode with Malin Ackerman and Orlando Bloom, of all people, and Kate Micucci, and they decide to Orlando Bloom and Malin Ackerman are a married couple in that episode, and they decide to open up their relationship to include one more person, and that's Kate Micucci. What happens with these anthology series, especially this being a half hour, and especially with this essentially taking place in the same world, they're all in the same universe as each other, but sometimes you'll see a character pop up in one, and then he'll pop up in another one. It's really interesting, really great. But with all this happening at once, everybody, it's a different show. And so anyway, you have to do a lot of world building. You have to do a lot of world building in 28 minutes. And these episodes do not go over that half hour. They don't go into 45. They stay right there in the nice, comfortable 20 to 28 minute zone. Anyway, so here's some people that are in the series. We got Malin Ackerman and Zazie Beetz and Hannibal Buress, Aya Cash. We got Kiersey Clemens. We got Jake Johnson. It was weird. His role was very strange. He was only used in Skype. Mark Maron, Jolo Trulio, Kate Berlant, Judy Greer, Danny Masters. Oh boy, he should not have mentioned that guy. Emily Ratajkowski, who did a really good job. Ratajkowski, she did a really good job with Marin's episode. Anyway, so I really like Easy. It's very good. If you're going to watch it, it's very sexual. Be wary of that. I will tell you that much right now. Be very wary, especially I'm gonna let's see, especially Side Hustle. That's the one I'm talking about, where you see things that I don't think that I've ever seen on TV before. I'll leave it at that. Let's move on to the movie Majorie Prime. I saw that this weekend. If I've been wanting to see a movie all year, it is a movie about it's an old woman. And hold on, I gotta pull this up because I'm not having a good time pulling this up. Okay, it's about an older woman who is a science fiction movie who is losing. I don't know. I guess she's losing her mind or whatever. But boy, okay. Anyway, she's in her 80s, and it's in the year 2050. And when around that time, when people die, you can get your memories and have those memories turn into, I guess, what they're calling primes. I think that's what it's called. It's a prime, and then you can remember that person. And you can have a conversation with that prime. A prime is essentially a hologram, but it's something that you can see. You can see a hologram, but it's something that you can it's not like a light show. It's a physical representation of that person. So Marjorie Prime, this older woman, her prime is of her husband, and it's Jon Hamm, but she can only remember, she chooses to remember the younger version. So it's 40 years old instead of an elderly Jon Hamm. It's a 40-year-old Jon Hamm, and he's a very handsome boy, and so essentially she has these conversations with him, and it's a very slow, and it's not long, but it's a very slow movie, and admittedly a little bit boring. But the director and writer, Michael Almerida, did a really wonderful job, and he captured something very interesting, and I thought it was enjoyable. I'm just gonna go ahead and ruin it for you. Movie stars about 5 people, and exactly 5 people, and so eventually, halfway through the movie, Marjorie dies. She passes away, and the way they reveal it is just so. It's a stunning way to do it. It's a really good way to do this. But Gina Davis plays the daughter of Marjorie, and Tim Robbins is her husband, and they live together. They live with Marjorie, and so they're living in Marjorie's house, and so Gina Davis is very wary of technology and how primes work and stuff, and so she's trying to have a conversation with Marjorie, who's now a prime. Marjorie's now a prime. This is about halfway through the movie, so it's a very strange thing that happens. So she's a prime, and she's very wary of this conversation, and then you find out that Gina Davis dies very late into the movie, and then Tim Robbins is remembering her, and now you have all these primes in the same house, and then Tim Robbins dies, but there's no one around to remember him. So he dies, and there's no one to remember him at all, and so you have Jon Hamm and Gina Davis and Lois Smith, who plays Marjorie. All their primes are sitting around and just watching, and John goes, I wonder where John is. That's Tim Robbins' character. He goes, I wonder where John is, and you get no one's around to remember him, so it's just all these primes in this house. It's a very good movie. I really enjoyed it a lot, and you should check it out, even though I just ruined all of it for you. Who cares? Moving on. This weekend before the new year, White Famous was canceled. That was a show on Showtime starring what's his name? Oh boy, I can't remember. Jay Farrow, and it's produced by Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx was in 2 episodes, exactly 2 episodes, and it was written by Tom Capinos, who did Californication. This takes place in the same world as Californication. Never seen that show, but the White Famous is I did not like it at all. I'm going to tell you that much. It was not a good show, and it got canceled because it just didn't get any better. And I mean, I applaud Tom for trying to do something adventurous and stuff like that, but it wasn't a good show, and and then one of the issues is I'm happy that it was made and it did all this stuff, blah blah blah, but Tom Capinos is a white man and he wrote every single episode, which is fine, but I wish he'd had done it with someone of color. So now we have this white guy just telling these stories of Jay Farrow's Floyd Mooney, who's overacting, and he's doing, and it's not good. It's just there's so many issues with this show. But the sad part is that people like Cleopatra Coleman and Utkarsh, I'm gonna ruin his name, Ambudkar. I'll call him UTK from Freestyle Love Supreme, and even Megan Good and Stephen Tobolowsky and Natalie Zia. God, she wasn't even in the last half of the season. Oh my gosh, what a waste. Michael Rappaport. You have all these great actors, and they're doing really well with this not a good script and not a good story. Well, and then it never panned out. It never did anything that it wanted to do. It set out and made this show. It was very aggressive in its message, and it was very over the top in its message, and I don't think it handled any of that well, so that's why it got canceled. That's why it wasn't very well accepted, and that's why it got canceled. It's not a white and black thing. It's a thing that the show wasn't good, and that's why Smilf it survived. Showtime pretty much readily, they said, we're going to give that one a second season, because that is a show that made itself better from the premiere, from the get-go. And if you read my review of White Famous, the first look review, it just did not. I didn't have a good time. I said, should you watch White Famous? We're almost 7 episodes in at the time of this review. If the pilot threw you off, stay away. White Famous is a missed opportunity and doesn't look like it's earning back the credit it desires. And so it's not a good show. Anyway, but there we go. It's very tough to see a show like that go off, and it had so much potential. It made black comedians, it made black men look like caricatures. And even the moments that were a little bit more quiet, even the moments that tried to take itself seriously, it just wasn't worth it. Watching those episodes, 10 episodes of that show was very difficult, because oftentimes I just didn't want to watch it, because there were so many story threads all over the place, and when you're doing a half hour like that, and you're not able to focus on or do a few things at all, then it's just it's not worth it. Anyway, moving on, I also interviewed Judah Friedlander this week, so stay tuned to the end of this episode for that. Judah Friedlander worked on 30 Rock. He was an actor, and I think he was a writer too. Let's see what else he's on. Judah Friedlander. I'm Googling right now. So if you ever hear me vamp like this, I'm Googling. He that was very good at that. He was also in a bunch of movies. But let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh, he was in one of them Star Wars. Anyway, he's a very good guy, very funny, and we had a nice conversation. I actually talked to him before I went to the aquarium. That's the main topic. I went to the Georgia aquarium because I live in Georgia and there's an aquarium, and I've never been. Very expensive. Anyway, but before I went to the aquarium, I had a good chat with him, and it was very fun. And even though we were a little bit late, but he was a good man. Good chat. Anyway, let's move on to this aquarium biz. So I went to the aquarium, and it was a very cool and fun and interesting idea thing that's going on right now. I want to pause this. I'm not pausing the podcast, but I'm gonna break down months and months ago, way back in the early episodes of the show, when the show was not good, still isn't good, but it's gotten somewhat better. I would record during The Bachelorette on Monday nights. It is New Year's Day, and The Bachelor is on, and now I'm recording. And all these women are just trying to steal some time with this ex-race car driver / realtor. And it's par for the course for The Bachelor. It's the same vapid women trying to go for the same milquetoast dude. And I say milquetoast in a very racial way because they're all white, except for that one time they had a black woman. It's classic Bachelor. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Anyway, So I went to the aquarium with one of my friends, and we had a good time. We saw there were dolphins and there were sharks, and you can swim with the Georgia Aquarium. At the Georgia Aquarium, you can actually get inside. It costs $240 a ticket, I believe, and you get scuba gear. You get to swim around with all these I don't know, whales and stuff like that, and the sharks and stuff. I mean, they're not real sharks, not like a great white shark, but one of those tiny sharks. You know the tiny sharks I'm talking about. Those tiny sharks with messing with the sound now. Tiny sharks, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those tiny sharks and other fishes like that. I did see a fish urinate when it was swimming. It was crazy. I saw this yellow streak and I went, oh man, that fish is peeing. Anyway. We saw a seal show. So this is what happens. They have 4 seals. They got 4 seals. All you gotta do is line up and go into this theater type area, and then they play this weird video. They play this very strange intro video. I guess with first of all, this is what happens. They line you up outside. You have to. There's only like a couple of shows a day. So once you get inside, they corral you. They corral you in like they pack you like sardines to use a pun, but they pack you like sardines and they corral you like cattle, and you're standing shoulder to shoulder with these people. This guy behind me was coughing on my neck, and and also his daughter, this made me so angry. We were standing shoulder to shoulder, and and then they had this big white screen, and they had a couple of TVs dispersed throughout, and then they also had these, imagine Chuck E. Cheese. They had big animatronic animals that were sitting on top of. I'm now gesturing as if you can see me. This would be great for a video. They have these big animals just sitting, like a pelican and a seagull and crabs. They're all just sitting perched up above you where the TVs are, and they can all, like I said, animatronic. They can all move and talk and stuff, and it is not funny at all. And so they're sitting up there. And then this video starts, and there's the main character of this video is a crab who's I don't know his name. I didn't paint it. And there's also a giant statue of barnacles that sing, and they sing pop songs, and it's crazy. So anyway, there's little girls behind me, and this guy is coughing on my neck. I hear the little girl say, "I can't see," and because we're all corralled like fish. You're just standing there, trying to get a good view of anything. So I move a little bit out of the way. And the lady, I guess his wife, the kid's mom says something to the kid like, "Oh, well, he moved that way. There you go." And she goes, "It doesn't matter. I still can't see." And in my head, I cursed her out. I cursed her out hard. I said, "How dare you? I cannot believe I moved for you. Why are you so rude to me?" Anyway. That guy still coughs. He coughs my neck all the time. And then when we sat down, we tried to sit down near the splash zone because the seals could jump in and out of the water. The sea lions. I'm sorry, did I say seals? The sea lions. We saw a sea lion show, and they hopped in the water and they can splash you and stuff. So we tried to sit there. The guy who was coughing on my neck is still sitting back there coughing on my neck. Why did you follow me to this exact spot? And why are you coughing on my neck? Just cover your mouth. Disgusting, nasty people. Who cares? Oh, a trailer for the new the 50 Shades just came on. That was weird. I don't know why I'm mentioning that. I'm not being very professional right now. Very long day. Anyway, so the sea lions were there, and they had this one giant, just a huge sea lion that looked like a fat man in a suit. It was just so big, just a massive sea lion, and it was great. I think his name was Damien or something, and they made them all roar for us, and his roar was it sounded like a man who was boxing for the first time, but every time he got hit, he made this weird noise. Every time he got hit in the stomach, he goes ooh, ooh, ooh. And that's how the sea lion sounded. So every single one of them, they all had different barks and everything, but they all sounded like they're dying men. So the biggest one, near the end of the show, this is like a 40-minute show. Near the end of the show, he came up to the middle section where we were, and he did a little flip in the water, and he he pulled himself up on the glass, and he leaned out as far as he could, and he looked me in the eye. He looked all of us in the eye. He looked every single person in this row in the eye, and he just goes, "Oh!" and he just belts this giant roar in our face. And I thought for a second, that is the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. This thing just jumps up on the glass and it goes. I really thought it was very interesting. It was very cool. But if you ever get a chance to go to the aquarium, I urge you to just go spend the money. Go. They have cocktails. They have alcohol. They got food. That's what alcohol is, cocktails. And there's also a lot of good kids stuff there. If you want to do any of that stuff. I think we were in one of the gift shops. They have 2 gift shops there. They have one in the cafeteria, and then they have one on your that's an exit. That's essentially the exit. You can buy stuff on your way out. It's really crazy. But the mugs there are like $20, but they had a buy one get one half off, something like that. Buy 2 get 1 free. Something strange not strange. Something that a regular store would do. And I mean they're pretty nice, decent mugs. They're pretty big mugs too, so they might be worth the $40 you spend on both the ticket and then a mug that also costs $40. Anyway, looks like Georgia won the Rose Bowl, and that explains why I heard off mic screaming. There we go. And anyway, aquarium's great. There is also a kid show at the aquarium. They like in the middle of it's like a giant fishbowl, and you're in this, and on the outskirts are the actual exhibits. So you can just go to a tropical one, or one that's set in the sea, or one, just different variations of the exhibits and stuff. And in the middle, there's a stage area where kids can sit down and watch these people with puppets sing song in the most elaborate puppetry I've seen since any Muppets thing that was on the Muppets TV show, which was on ABC and also got canceled. And you saw these people telling this very intricate story of just, I don't know what it was about. There was a turtle, and they were doing really well singing. Well, I don't know if they were acting though. You know what? I think that it was all pre-recorded. Now that I think about it, I think it was the people. They know the script very well, but I remember seeing during while one woman, the main character, this woman was holding up this fish, and she was singing. She was smiling the entire time. So, you know what? Yeah, I'm right. Anyway, so it's great. It's wonderful, and you should definitely check it out. But I'm probably just gonna end this right now. So I'm very tired and I got nothing else to talk about. Anyway, remember, like I said, stay tuned to the end of this episode for the just a little bit of Judah Friedlander's interview. It was very fun. Like I said, it was very interesting and I enjoyed it. Thank you for sticking with. Whoa, oh my God, I just heard fireworks and that scared the crap out of me. It was so loud. Look, guys, it's college football. It's not like they saved the world or anything. So if you like this, and if you like me knocking on college football, then you can always head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, for latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits. Only I can show you what. Oh, you know what? Before I end this, I want to say that I'm thinking maybe I don't do a news story every day. Like, I've been doing news stories 4 days a week, essentially, Monday through Thursday. And you know what? I haven't done one since December 21st. Maybe I won't. I don't have to push myself to keep to finding a news story, because it doesn't. It's not like it's the things on the website that are the most watched and read are reviews of shows that no one else is reviewing. So when I have a bunch of Key and Peele episodes that just the reviews of episodes that are just getting so many clicks every single day. And by so many clicks, I mean like a dozen clicks. I don't mean like they're all getting these clicks. I just sniffed a marker. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm telling you. Or the Mike Birbiglia's My Girlfriend's Boyfriend. That one gets clicks, I think every hour. It's just, and stuff, and Nathan For You, and in these first look reviews, those are things that typically are the longest lasting things. So if I continue to do those reviews, and then I do these interviews and News Time, the Constitutionals, I think those would profit more than just doing a news story every day. So maybe I'm just going to take a little back seat on those news stories every day. Anyway, so I feel like I just had to say that out loud to make sure it sounds good. So anyway, you can always head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, for latest news, reviews, features, interviews, and other good comedy bits only I can provide you with. You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter at @BlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Go to the YouTube page, youtube.com/cpluscomedy, to get our premiere show, the video show, News Time. It's a very good show. I enjoy doing it. We just put up the bloopers today, yesterday when I'm recording this, yesterday when you're hearing this, and in the future, it's sometime. We put it up on New Year's Day. So I got a whole bunch of bloopers, including some from the 150th episode, because I had a ton, and those were just sitting on my computer. I didn't even delete them. I said this is gonna be good. So yeah, watch the bloopers. They're great. They're funny. And next week we'll have a regularly scheduled episode, and it's about reinventing. I think, reinventing how shows that did soft reboots and stuff like that, or hardcore reboots. We'll see. Anyway, it's gonna be great. So continue doing that. And like I said, Judah Friedlander at the end of this. Okay, goodbye. Oh, you know what? I said goodbye, and not gonna lie, I'm not even gonna edit this part out because I'm too lazy to do so. But I forget. I was on a different part of the computer, and I couldn't press stop on the recording. Okay, bye.
And I enjoyed all of the joke writing, if it was joke writing, because there was a lot of off-the-cuff stuff, and you reminded me, I was racking my brain for this, you reminded me a lot of Todd Barry's crowd work tour that he did in 2014. Both of those were just so masterfully done because of the way that you guys interacted with the audience, and you weren't afraid to call them out on dumb things, and I thought that was a wonderful attribute.
I'm a fan of Todd. I like Todd. His thing was filmed quite differently. That was, and I like that one. But his was filmed with the audience knowing this is a crowd work tour. They actually had a microphone set up for audience members to go up there and ask questions. Mine was just, filmed on these are just nights at a comedy club, and there's nothing said beforehand saying, hey, we're doing crowd work now. It's all just, they say my name, I go on stage, and then what happens. So different in the way it's set up. But yeah, within my crowd work, some of it is 100% off the cuff, and then some of the material, like when I'm talking about my presidential platform, is some of those jokes were initially 100% off the cuff. Let's say someone asked me about immigration, right? What will my presidential platform be on immigration? Initially, the first time someone asked me that, I made up a joke. And then, let's say a week later, someone asked me that same question. I'll do that same joke, try to maybe improve the wording a little bit, and then I'll try to add another joke onto it. All right on the spot. None of this is work that's off stage. It's all on stage. And then after a while, what started out as having one joke on immigration, I now have, 8 jokes on immigration, and some a mix of short one-liners as well as long extended bits.